much do you really, truly value yourself? And I mean, like, mostly, I guess, in a monetary way, but in all ways. When you think about it, it's difficult sometimes to really believe that you're worth what you actually are worth. What our parents say to us when we're growing up really becomes our behavior when we become adults. And unfortunately, depending on how old you were and how much older your parents were, you probably aren't valuing yourself the way you could or should based on your blueprint of money that you got from your parents, right? Like I now fully recognize that when I see a very successful, like wealthy woman, it's always, I look for some other source. Did she have a wealthy husband? Did she have a wealthy family? And I hate that I feel that way, right? I hate that my first response is that women don't make money. But I realized that I got that message from my mother, who was born in 1925 and grew up during the Depression where they had nothing. And yes, she worked and she had a job, but my father made much more money. So anytime at all that I needed anything, her standard response was, go ask your father, right? Because he controlled the money. And then equally, I had my dad saying to me, it's just as easy to love a rich man as it is a poor man, implying that I needed a man to take care of me. However, I was actually very proud of my dad. Like when I turned 30, he said to me, I thought you'd be married by now. And I was kind of like, Dad. And he said, wait, let me finish. And he said, at the same time, I'm really proud of you that you didn't just marry some man to take care of you. And to that point, yes, I did start working on my internal dialogue. And I became aware of this. You get your blueprint on everything, your paradigm, I've been famous for saying, you get from your parents. And I've worked really hard to undo that internal message. Because actually, when I was in my 30s and I finally had a therapist, she said to me, I've never met anybody who works so hard and doesn't get paid what they should for it. I think that's largely why I'm talking about this. If you're agreeing with me and nodding your head, look at the messages that you got from your parents when you were growing up. And then now you need to start telling yourself and creating a new internal dialogue to undo some of those negative messages that you got. Because I think far too many women and men, it's not just women. I certainly have had male clients that don't charge for their services what they should. And I think that's very common in people that work for themselves and do some sort of contracting business. You don't set your prices high enough of what you're worth. And I've had this conversation with men too, that they don't want to outprice themselves so that they don't get the work or that someone can't afford it. But if you do much better work, and even in just the prices that I charge for coaching, I know that I don't charge as much as a lot of my other competitors. And quite frankly, I think I'm equally as good, if not better. I guess it's just, I want people to be able to afford me because I want to genuinely be able to help people. But I've had people say to me, you need to charge more. You're so much better than these people who are charging thousands of dollars. You need to charge more. I'm like, there is that saying that says you get what you pay for, right? I think people expect to. Years ago, I was dating a guy who had been a prosecutor and then he started for a private law firm. And they actually said to him, you're not billing enough. People think you're not working for them if you're not billing them more. You need to start billing more. So I'm just bringing this up because I think it's a very common problem. And what you value yourself outwardly, what you might say to somebody, what is it that you really think? And I think journaling is a very effective tool in helping us confront things and let go of things. So if you journal about how you feel about yourself and how much you value yourself, really be honest with yourself. What was your message that you got from your parents around money? And if you're struggling with money, that might be why. And that's the first place to look. Yeah, we all need a better job, or we need, to look at our behavior. But it also starts with your inner dialogue and your self-esteem and what you think about yourself. And do you really genuinely value yourself in a way that is going to get you paid what you deserve? If I'm honest, I still believe that women don't make as much money as men. And I'm doing my best to change that attitude for other people, not just for myself.